be and how everybody was going to lose. Today, if you don't really have a great story because you haven't really lost much weight because you didn't have much weight to lose, you use other people's stories, okay, about how they've lost weight, okay, to keep the customer motivated, okay? Write this one down because this is a big one. You continue to go back and tell the person more stories and more stories and more stories. That's why we keep printing you lots of journals, okay, so you have lots of different stories to continue to tell people. Telling them one story is great. Showing them 4 stories is better. Showing them 100 stories every single month as time goes on, because it's, write this down, it's the fresh stories that keep you excited. Not only you, but them. Now, the other place how you keep them excited is if you've got weight to lose, okay? If you've got weight to lose, maybe you started off on the product and you lost 10 kilos right away and you were excited, okay? And there's no question when you're excited, you sell lots of product, okay? But now let's suppose you've plateaued and you've still got 25 kilos to lose, okay? And now you're going back to your customers and you're trying to convince your customers it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. If you stay the same weight over a month after month after month, you're not gonna keep your customers motivated, okay? Because they're gonna see that you are pitching something that's not reality because you are not continuing to lose your weight. So if you want to continue to make your customers excited, okay, that means that you have to take responsibility for your own weight, your own looks, your own face, your own health the most. Because that what you are is what you project, and that's what your people believe in, okay? And I'm not trying to put so much pressure on you that if you really got a lot of weight to lose here today and all that you got to get rid of it this week. I'm not saying that. What you got to do this week is you've got to make some progress. 1 pound, 2 pounds. Okay, next week, 1 pound, 2 pounds. I promise you, any of you that are having problems with selling the product, lose your weight, and it'll take care of everything. I'm serious. Sometimes we have this ability to lie to ourselves about why things are not going right, okay? And it's keeping yourself excited, okay, is what's the most important. And when you're getting that weight down, you get excited and you get more confident and you get more courage, okay? And that confidence and that courage and that feeling that you love about the products is what transmits to people, okay? It's not always so much what you say about the products that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about these products that's so important. And people read that. Don't you think that they can't? It's what's in your eyes. It's how in your voice. It's in your heart, okay? That is what people believe in, okay? So you got to take responsibility for yourself first and get excited about what's happening to you, and that will excite other people because you have to match your pitch. If you're saying something and you are not matching the pitch, okay, then it's no wonder people don't believe so much. And again, I'm not trying to say it's got to be all at once. Here's the most important thing. Write this down. You got to make some progress, okay? Little by little by little by little so that you can keep yourself excited. A lot of people have asked me how did I keep myself so excited back in the beginning? 1, I was working on myself. And number 2, I got lots of people, okay? If you have 1 customer and it's a refund, how does your business look? Bad, okay? If you got 100 customers and you only get 4 or 5 refunds, does it bum you out? Not much, okay? Because you got another 40, 50, 80 customers telling you their new experience about what's happening and what's going on and what's happening. Those stories is what keeps you excited. And those stories that you get that keep you excited, you tell those stories to other people and you keep them excited. Every time I go and do another rally and stuff like that, we've come back and we've seen other things happen to people and we've heard their stories, and I keep interjecting all my different stuff that happens, okay? And so keep it fresh by doing lots. Check out our little customers sometimes. Let's say you're down at the grocery store and your name is Bob, and you happen to be a truck driver, okay? And you're very excited about the products because you've lost 50 kilos and you're wearing your button and you're very proud about the product, and you are out there and you are shopping, and here comes Mary. She's waddling down the aisle, and she's 100 kilos overweight, and she says to Bob, she goes, Bob, she says, could you tell me about the button, how to lose weight? And he goes, oh yeah. He says, this stuff's unbelievable. You're not even gonna believe it. And she goes, okay, I'll do it. She's very excited, okay? And now little Sally, she comes home and she's so proud, and she's all excited about her little box, and she puts it on the counter like this, and she has her little bottles, and they're all set up, and it's all neat and everything. She's got her orange juice over here to make it, and she's very excited. And then all of a sudden, her big, fat, negative husband walks in the door. And he opens up the door like this, and he's got his big, fat belly with his t-shirt with grease all over it because he's an auto mechanic. And he walks over to the refrigerator, and he opens up the door, and he grabs a beer. And he drinks it down, and then he looks over and he goes, hey, what's that? And she goes, it's a new diet I'm gonna go on, honey. He says, what? A new diet? I can't believe it. He says, where did you buy this from? She says, you're not even gonna believe it. I met this man down at the grocery store who was a truck driver who was wearing a lose weight now. Ask me how button. He says, I can't believe it. He says, you've done some pretty stupid things before. He says, how much did that cost? She says, oh, about $200. What? $200? He says, I can't believe you spent all my beer money. He says, this is just unbelievable. Okay? And just about then, the two little fat children walk into the room. And they go, what's wrong, Daddy? And they go, Mommy's going on a new diet. And they go, no, Mommy, no. Every time you use a new diet, you get real mad and irritable. Please, Mommy, don't use the diet. Just about then, the telephone rings. Ring, ring. And it says, how you doing, Mary? She goes, oh, terrible. She says, my big, fat, negative husband is yelling at me about using the product. It's just terrible. And she says, not only that, my little fat children are yelling at me too. She says, it's just terrible. And then the Herbalife person says, now listen, Mary, get a grip. He says, I don't care what your big, fat, negative husband says or what your little fat, chubette children say. I want you to get back in that kitchen and drink those shakes twice a day and take those tablets 3 times a day. About 2 months later, Sally is shrinking and shrinking, and her big fat husband keeps coming home every night. And after 2 months, he looks at her and he goes, ooh, oh, looking very nice, wife, yeah. And then he starts drinking the product, okay, and he starts shrinking. And then pretty soon they feel very confident and very lovely, and they hold hands, and they take their little stroll down the street on the Sunday, and all the neighbors are seeing. And all the neighbors want to get onto the product. And pretty soon, they're getting onto the supervisor position and the world team position. And they come back to the office and they're working their way up to the GET team and the millionaire team. And finally, they're president's team members. So we have two unbelievable things. So we have two unbelievable things going. We have the magic of the product, and we have the magic of you calling the customer constantly and giving them the courage and the confidence to keep going, to make it. Now let's go through the follow-up program here real quick, because follow-up, like we said, is very, very important, okay? And there's 3 reasons why you want to follow up. Number 1, you want to make sure that they're taking it and they're taking it right, okay? Because sometimes people buy the product and just sit there with the last 15 things that they bought. And so you want to check on them and call them and see what's happening, okay? The other thing is that there's only 2 things that people can do other than cheating, okay, that can mess up the program. And every once in a while, someone who's not used to drinking very much milk, okay, 40% of the population after they're 25 doesn't produce a digestive enzyme in their stomach that digests the milk, and they can get things like headaches and diarrhea and nausea and bloatiness and that sort of thing, okay? The other thing is when people get onto the product and they don't eat what they want to eat. Now they take the 2 shakes and they think, I'm going to get with the Herbalife bandwagon and I'm just going to have this little piece of lettuce with a little drop of oil on it. And they stop smoking, they stop drinking, and what do you think's going to happen? Diarrhea, and they feel terrible, okay? All because what? Because they changed their diet and they didn't eat what they want to. And guess what people want to do? Eat. You know, especially when they're real fat, okay? So why not let them eat, okay? See, and that makes it more fun and that makes it more simple, okay? So I found a couple little things that really helped me with people that got off track, okay? Because what happens is sometimes if they do have that reaction, it's not that many people that have this reaction, but when they do, most of the time, what do they think it is? The product, okay? So you got to get them off of that, okay? Otherwise, you're going to get a refund. So that's the follow-up program, okay? And you just want to call them, you know, like on the first day and then the 3rd day. You having fun down there? Okay? And the 7th day. And, you know, and just keep following up on them. For instance, they've lost 7 pounds, and now they go to the local family gathering, okay, after a week being on the product. And what is everybody doing at the family gathering? Eating like crazy, right? So they start eating like crazy, and guess what else they're doing? Drinking like crazy. So they're drinking like crazy and eating like crazy, and on Monday, they think they've messed up the whole program and stuff like that, and that's where the Herbalife distributor comes in, and you know, they call the person up, and they say, how you doing, Mary? And she says, oh, awful, it's just terrible. You know, the first week I was losing all this weight, and then all my family members got around me and they were eating like pigs, and I started eating like crazy, and I started drinking like crazy. And not only that, my fat husband's on my back saying, you're a bad person for buying this product because you took up all my beer money. And the little fat pudgette kids are in here saying, you know, don't get on the diet, don't get on the diet, because everything I've ever been, I've always been mean and nasty to my children and stuff like that. And she says, now listen, Mary, get a grip, okay? I'm telling you, you're going to lose weight on this stuff, okay? And all you're going to do is drink these shakes twice a day, and you're going to take these tablets 3 times a day, and you're going to lose weight like crazy. Now get back in that kitchen and drink this product, and don't worry about your big, fat, negative husband. Get going. Sometimes I see people, you know, they're there and they're talking to someone for 3, 4, 5 hours, and they're begging people to get into their company and stuff like that. Please, please, please get into my business because I'll make some money and stuff like that. No, you got to switch your thinking, okay? Your thinking here is that you're going to do everything to help them get rich, okay? And don't beg them to get into the business. They ought to be begging you to get into this company, okay? Seriously. We got the greatest thing in the world. They should be begging us to get in this company and stuff like that. So here's the kind of attitude that you have, okay, when you're talking to someone about the business. You have the attitude that you're going to get rich and they're going to get rich. So let's just try this out just a little bit here, okay? I want you to turn to the person next to you just real quick. Okay, everybody turn to the person next to you. And I want you to look them square in the eyes, and I want you to say, man, am I glad you got to meet me. What I'm going to explain to you right now, there's a couple of big things I've explained to you that are important. Number one, the products were the most important for me in my success. Number two was keeping everything fun, simple, easy, magical, okay? The next one was sticking to the plan of daily method of operation of getting 10 in the business. This next one is one of my biggest key points of my success. So listen into this. I know we've been here a while and we're getting close to the end of the day, but this is one of my biggest things that made me so successful, okay? I was always very concerned with how good my people have been and how good they do. And that just didn't happen from the first month. That's still happening today, okay? But I was very concerned the very first 72 hours. Now, there's not something, a miracle about that number, but here's the reason why that amount of time is so important. They just got done with the opportunity meeting. And remember, you stacked the first 8 or 10 testimonials with the $3,000 housewife, truck driver, auto mechanic stories, okay? And now your person sitting out there goes, wow, if that housewife can make $3,000, maybe I can make $3,000, okay? Now, when they get home and they start to explain this to their spouse, guess what happens? The spouse is either very excited or extremely negative, okay? And starts putting that little housewife down, bad housewife, crazy woman, lunatic with powders and tablets, okay? So that's where the sponsor comes in, okay? And so what I do is immediately the next day we're gonna meet and we're gonna go to the career book and we're gonna make up who do you know of everybody that wants to get on the products and who do you know of everybody that wants to get out to the business. So the first thing I do is I tell this person what they're supposed to do, which is to make up the list. Then the next thing I go out and do is I show them how to do the presentations. So for instance with Jerry, I said, now Jerry, who are these out of these people do you want to get on the products? And they said, well, these people here. And I said, well, who do you want to get on the business? They said, these people here. I said, okay, Jerry, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some time out of my day to make some of these presentations for you. Okay, write that down. I'm going to do the presentations for you. You can't believe how much relieved Jerry was from me saying that, okay? She was excited about the business. She wanted to do the business, but yet she had never done anything like this, so she was scared to death, okay? So when I said I would do some of these presentations for her, it was like, wow, he's going to help me out here, okay? Now I said, now why I'm doing these presentations, Jerry, the important thing is you better listen to what I say, because after 4 or 5 of these, I'm going to make you do a part of the presentation on your own. I'll do a part, then you do a part. And then we'll keep doing that until you know how to do it on your own. Once you got somebody signed up, here's what I would personally do, okay? First thing I would do is I would tell my person to write down every single person that they know don't think about anything. Write down every single person that they know on a piece of paper or get their telephone book out. Okay? Write that down. A lot of people, they come to the meeting here and they see, well, someone's doing flyers, or they're doing the button, or they're doing whatever. Listen, if you're brand new and you're just getting this thing going, don't start with flyers and the button and all that. You know, maybe work that in with why you're working what I'm going to tell you. Okay, but first thing you do is make out a list of every single person that you know everywhere in the world, okay? And then you want to contact that person, because if you don't, somebody else will. Now, where can we go to find people? Write this down. Your customers are unbelievable. Your friends. And again, turn to that page number 24 so you can think about all the people that you know, okay? You can run little advertisements in the newspaper, in your booklet right in here, okay? It's got not only the advertisements you can run, but it's got the script of what you say to get them down to the meeting, word for word, what it is that you say, okay? You could carry around your tablet box with you, okay? No question about it. If you're wearing your button and you're carrying your tablet box and you got your briefcase that says Herbalife on it, okay? Will people ask what the heck is in those tablets? If you follow what I say, write this down, you're going to make a minimum of $50,000 this year. That's the least amount of money that you're going to make. The second year, you'll make $125,000, and that's the least amount of money that you're going to make. Now, I'm going to show you the plan. The only thing I can't do for you guys, okay, is I can't get up in the morning and drink your shakes for you, and I can't get up in the morning and take your tablets for you. You've got to do that yourselves. I can't wake up in the morning and contact the people for you. You got to do this yourselves. But the great thing is, we don't have different products for different people in the company. The products are the same for the president's team as they are for those of you way there in the back of the room. The products are the same. We got the exact same marketing plan. Yes. We got the exact same marketing plan if you're a man or a woman. We take everybody, okay? And so all you got to do is go out and do it and make it happen. It'll happen, trust me. So I guess if I just write on this, it works, okay? Now look at, here's what we do. We're going to go out and we're going to talk to 10 people a day about the product. 10 people a day about the product. And let's say you only work 22 days. Now, by the way, when you talk to these 10 people about the product, this is not someone who says, what's the story on your button? And you go, well, let me tell you about it, and they run away. Is that one of your 10? No. This is someone you go all the way through. It works like crazy. You're not going to believe it. It's nutrition, 2 shakes a day, tablets 3 times a day, pictures, 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 give me the money. And they say either yes or no. Once they said yes or no, you can write them down as one of your 10. So everybody got this concept? 10 a day, okay? Now let's say you only do that 22 days. That's 220 people that you've talked to during the month. Let's say that you're just starting out and you're all nervous and you just bomb at the deal, okay? At least 50 people are going to buy the product. Most people, hands up, you get the whole presentation out, show your before and after pictures and all that stuff, and they're listening. Usually half the people buy the product or a third. Hands up. So you can see this is what happens usually. I'm saying, what if only 1 out of 5 buy the product? 1 out of 5. You're real scared, and all you can do is just stand there with your little leaflet and go. 1 out of 5. Now the average sale is like $100. So that's $5,000 in business. At 50%, that's $2,500 that you're going to make. Times 12 months, you're already making $30,000 a year just selling the products. Okay? Now, we're not going to talk to you about all the upgrading of all the other products that you're going to sell them, and all the new products, and all the products that the relatives are going to want to have, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about the least amount of money you guys can possibly make doing this plan, okay? So that it's really realistic for everybody. Now, you can talk to 20 people a day if you want to and make $60,000 a year, but I don't suggest doing that unless most of the recruiting that you're doing is coming from your customers. Because you still must have a certain amount of time during the day to talk to people about the business so that you can get more money by getting more people. So you can only make so much money with your own two lips. The way you can make lots of money is by having your two lips do some of the talking and having lots of people doing lots of talking. So we have to have at least some time to talk to people about the business. Okay? So if you're getting all your persons from selling the products, great. But if not, you've got to leave some time in order to talk to people about the business. By the way, does this seem reasonable to everybody? Now, this is a very important concept. Okay, very important concept. If you only talk to 8 people today, how many people do you have to talk to tomorrow? 12. Write that down. If you only talk to 8 people the next day, how many do you have to talk to? Okay, 14. Okay, if you only talk to 8 the next day, 16. Okay, so you got to keep up. Okay, you got to keep up. All right, we had all of our guys in the beginning on this, Jerry, Doug, everybody, right? And this made us rich by doing this. Okay, simple concept, simple deal, but it was a way of keeping track of ourselves so that we could keep going and keep making things happen. Now, here's all you got to do about the business. We're going to talk to 10 people a day about inviting them to a presentation. 10 people a day we're going to invite to a presentation. Let's say we take the weekends off, we only do that 22 days a month. Inviting someone to a presentation, in other words, someone's looking at your button or whatever, and they say, well, what's the deal about? And they say, well, listen, you got 9 minutes to listen on how you can make $50,000 this year and $125,000 next year with the hottest company in the country? And they say, yes, I can listen. And you go through the presentation all the way through it and show them the products and the marketing plan and the testimonials, and then you ask them what position they want to start out with, and they say, I want to do it, I don't want to do it. Or you're going through the presentation and you're inviting them down to a one-on-one presentation, or you're inviting them down to a meeting, or you're inviting them to the coffee shop. But whatever it is, you can only count the 10 as someone who says, yes, I will come and take a look. Write that down. They either say, yes, I'm going to take a look, I'm going to come down, I'm going to take a look. If they say no, have you got one of your 10? No. Inviting 10 people a day that say, yes, I'll come down and take a look. Now, you're doing that 220 times. My odds were, when I was running my advertisements, was about 50% of the people would come down and take a look. And that was way back when it was just terrible. Let's say that only 50 people come down and take a look. Only 50 people come down and take a look. You're just the worst on the phone or one-on-one presentation, whatever, okay? You're terrible. But 50 people take a look. After they take a look, only 10 people sign up to become a distributor. Is that reasonable? It's ridiculously reasonable, okay? So now you've got 10 first-line distributors. Now, what we're not going to talk to you about is all the people that are going to buy 1 or 2 boxes of product or buy a $1,000 order and all the money that you're going to make doing that way of doing business. We're not even going to get into that. We're just going to make it real simple because the averages are 2 out of 10 people become supervisors. That's the company average. And let's say you make the lowest percentage that you can possibly make in the company, 8%. 8% on a $4,000 order is $320. Times 2 of those is 640 bucks. So let's go through that again. You're inviting 10 people a day to come down and take a look at one of your opportunity meetings, at a coffee shop, through your mail order, through any kind of way that you're doing it. They say, yes, I will come take a look. Only 50 people come and take a look. Okay? Only 10 of those tell you yes. Okay, I will sign up. Then 2 of them become supervisors at $640, plus your $2,500 you made from retailing. You made $3,140 your first month. Now this plan is guaranteed to work. Now this is more money than I made my first month. My first month, I only had 13 days though. I sold $2,300 worth of product and made 1,200 bucks. Of course, at that time, we didn't have all the nice marketing stuff that we have today and a different plan and all that. Okay, but $3,140. If we told every one of you, everybody in the back of the room, that we would pay you $3,140 to just go out and talk to 10 people a day about the product and 10 people and invite them, okay, no matter what happened. If you just went out and did that, we would write you a check at the end of the month for $3,100. How many of you would do it? Exactly. So all you got to do is go out and do it and we will write you the check. Now here's what's exciting. The next month you get 50 more customers. And we're not, by the end of this plan, we're not even going to talk about how much money you're making on all this. Okay, we're just going to make the lowest possible deal. And the next month you get another 50 customers. Here's my suggestion. You keep getting 50 customers until you can't handle any more customers. Or you got to hire a secretary to help you with the customers. Or you get a distributor to help you with the customers. But long story short, at some point, okay, there's going to be so many customers, you just can't handle any more customers, right? But let's say that you get 150 customers. Would it be reasonable to say that 6 of those would become supervisors?